But if you would like us to, we can certainly do that. Okay, let's be consistent. Let's take time.
Okay, so, Chairman Kivaga,
Present?
Present.
Ron Brad,
Present.
Jerry Cleveland, present, Jim Zadickle, Carol Fonsetti.
She's at a ZRC meeting tonight. First order of business is to approve or edit the minutes from the previous meeting. Are there any questions or edits from anyone on the board? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor? So moved. Correspondence. So the correspondence that I'm aware of, that hopefully everyone has seen, is we have an upcoming request. We have a current request for from Ed Ferrado, the CEO, to interpret the law around short-term rentals. And in summary, what we have is a situation where an individual who owns a home is looking to have approval for 2 short-term rentals, one on the main floor and one in the basement floor where there is also a bedroom. So we will discuss that later. But has everyone seen that correspondence? Okay.
You didn't hear?
I didn't have.
What's happening?
I didn't have hands.
There is a letter from Ed Ferrado to the
Yeah.
zoning board regarding Mr. Kevin Sabet.
That's there. Mhm.
Sabet, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sabet. And there is also an opinion note from Nan Stolzenberg that if you don't have, Ron, we can make sure that we send to you.
Yeah.
But I have
That's
Yeah. Asked our council for
Need it back.
okay.
an opinion, and what we will do is discuss that at the next meeting. Hopefully, there'll be some preliminary opinions from the council. But here's what I'm going to ask everybody to do, and this is really important. We have some homework. You all need to go back and read the short-term rental law and all of its elements and develop an initial opinion on whether or not you think we should approve or not approve two short-term rentals in one building.
Is that in the handbook or is it online somewheres? I didn't see it in there. I looked quickly, but okay.
Yeah, it's in the zoning law.
All right,
There
okay,
is,
I'll look.
there is.
I think also you may want to look at accessory dwellings.
Yeah,
Let's go in there next. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, you're doing exactly what you should be doing. Will. Thank you.
I'm just telling them it to me all.
Yeah, and as part of that, looking into the zoning regulations around ADUs, accessory dwelling units. So I'm just gonna ask everybody to ensure you do go back, research that, and we will have an extended discussion about your individual opinions as well as any opinions that we will have gotten from John Lyons. Separately, under correspondence, I have asked John to give us an opinion as to whether or not the planning board can refuse a permit for a short-term rental, even if the applicant meets all of the requirements of the application. So why have we done that? The reason it came up is it came up in the zoning revisions committee, who was talking about housing availability, which is different from affordable housing, right? Affordable housing, state regulated stuff. Housing in general is very different. And there was a concern on the part of some people of the zoning revisions committee that too many homes in Ancram are being turned into short-term rentals, which is having a direct impact on the ability of residents to continue to live here, whether it's via rental or home purchase. I'm not offering an opinion one way or another. I'm simply telling you that I asked John Lyons for an opinion as to whether or not the zoning regulations allow the planning board that authority to say no. And there can be a number of reasons for that, but I don't think we should go into those tonight. So. Anything else on correspondence? Did I cover it all?
I think so.
Okay.
And John responding on that,
He just asked me for some information. He asked me for the letter from Ed, which everybody has here. I also sent him Nan's opinion. And to summarize Nan's opinion, I think I understood it because it was quite long. She basically said, the short-term rental law allows for 3 bedrooms in a dwelling. If the individual who wants this approval has 2 bedrooms on one floor and 1 on the lower floor, that's 3 bedrooms. Irrespective of whether or not it's 2 separate rentals, it's a consideration to potentially allow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
well-
well, but she says it should only be listed as 2. It was kind of weird. It was what.
That's, yeah. I believe that to be the case also, but it's not for tonight's debate. Yeah, if it's a 4-bedroom house, that's a whole different situation. So. Okay, any questions? All right, before we go into old business and new business, does anyone have any reason to recuse themselves from any of tonight's conversation?
Really, it was my call what we decided to keep discussing, having board meetings. I mean, most everybody was telling them, what's that?
You worked at them in the past?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's reasonably, full installation, and I'm like,
You're working with them now?
not at the moment, I'm on, he's had, approval to do generally, that's the outcome.
My opinion, Jim, is that, thank you for bringing that up. I don't see that as being a conflict. We've always operated in the past and everyone is in Ancram as your neighbor. So it's pretty hard to find somebody that doesn't know somebody or work with somebody, so.
Everybody else, so I have no problem doing it.
Anyone else have an issue? Okay, great. So let's start with old business, which is the area variance. Do we have the applicant here tonight? We don't. Anyone on Zoom? Okay, can I make a motion to open the public meeting or seconded?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye, meeting,
Aye.
so moved, meeting, the public meeting is now open. We have anyone online who? Do we have anyone on the board who has any comments or questions about the application? I have.
If you want to do something.
No,
Yes.
This is the one right on the corner here on Second.
Yeah,
There's some apartments that have always been in the back and Red Barn and a White House in front that used to actually have a main part and I think the apartment on that as well.
So I have a question and I may misunderstand the situation, but The applicant is asking for an area variance, a setback variance from the rear line. But it appears to me that it's contingent upon a current building being demolished. Right, is that right?
It seems like it's an addition on it, yeah. So it's just gonna, decrease the setback by 6 feet. So it's either 40 foot, it's either 30 foot or 34 foot or 34 foot area.
Well, in my mind, that would make I would deem the application incomplete. In light of the fact it doesn't take that into account. And my recommendation would be that we make a motion to continue the public meeting for another month and allow the applicant to come before the board and explain to us the implications of that building in the back so that we can make an informed. The issue is being precise about the size of the setback. What, are you okay with that?
Well, the way it's written, it almost looks like they're just going to do that.
Okay, good.
Let's take a, let's. Let's see.
Let's pull that out.
It's a.
For the ones here, I wonder, we're the property owner right behind that house.
Yeah.
So, we're just here for information.
Would you please come up and just speak into the speaker?
We're only here
What's
to
your name?
listen. Lynn Shu. We're just here to get a little more information about what's happening
Okay,
at the house because we're the property owners just adjacent. We own that whole, sort of points towards Doodletown and that whole woods area. So, and if there's an incursion onto our property or, some kind of violation of setback, we just want to know what's going on back there.
Maybe you should open this, you can see.
I mean, maybe I should come back, and, go to like whatever office with the info. but-
let's see if we can't,
Here, you take this.
let's see if
one.
we can't help you now.
Come on right up here.
Okay, right.
So the issue is right now, there's a dog pen that goes in the back. Okay?
Okay.
And there
In
are,
our line, it's a little bit
This
off.
is your-
Okay.
and the issue is that,
It's
There's
that,
a-
it's fine.
right, and there's going to be a 4 foot, I think, porch that's falling down that is going to be removed. And that's what gives them an extra, that's what will move it to 10 feet.
Okay. So it'll be within the 10 feet.
It'll be 10 feet, but it's short 30 feet from the.
They're
Right.
required to have a 30-foot setback from the rear property line.
Wow, I'm gonna put back here. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I would prefer if it was like that personally, adhere to, if we're gonna do changes.
Well, that's exactly why we have public meetings, for you to offer your opinion and let us know. So don't be shy about offering that opinion. That is absolutely your right.
Okay,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, all right, well, that's the owner, I'm gonna get a survey. Well, it's already been surveyed.
Yeah, it's already been
The
surveyed.
pins are probably there.
Left
The
over
pins are
there,
probably- yeah.
But I gotta post all that.
Or just talk to, I think whoever the surveyor was, you might just want to.
Oh,
talk to them instead of
yeah,
paying
that'd be
the whole thing
great for
over.
now. Yeah. All right. When did we change?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
We have that original application language.
That was what I was showing you, it's so bad.
It's just below where Tommy Williams used to live. You can see it
That's what
below
I'm
there.
saying.
Like, I think this line is. Yeah, well, it's taken over by Carly.
Oh. That's the original. I only go through there, on occasion to, for it's like.
So it can be, so it doesn't specify that it's going.
What, has he specifically asked for a 30-foot
It is,
Yeah.
been
variance?
there for quite some,
Yes.
it's been there, I remember.
Forever.
35 years ago, I used to plow. this.
Thank you.
And this is this structure house.
This is a barn.
So let me,
House is in the front.
let me read his original application, see if that helps. There is an existing accessory structure on the property. The owner would like to convert this building to an apartment and storage below. The building exists 6.4 feet from the rear property. By removing an addition, this can be increased to approximately 10 feet. The zoning law requires a 40-foot setback. So right now, the application seems to be incomplete because I don't see an application for a 30-foot area variance, and there is no drawings that show and confirm that a building is going to be removed.
Said that also.
Yes, I did.
It was barn on the word.
No, it's already 2 apartments.
It used to be 2 apartments.
Now, is that the one that's gonna be apartment downstairs and workshop upstairs?
No, that's different. Yeah, this is a different. But I don't think the zoning board is in a position to continue a conversation until we get a complete application. So I would like to make a motion that we ask our clerk to communicate to the applicant that they need an updated area variance application that includes, slow down.
Oh, might be Terry.
That includes showing removing the addition and updates the area variance request.
Well, we don't be far from.
I'll second.
Hold it 1 second.
Yeah, so we have a
Yeah,
hand up,
yeah. It's Mr. Weinstein.
okay?
Hello, am I audible?
Hello, Ted.
Hi, how are you? Ted
well-
Weinstein here. I'm part of this. I've been trying, forgive my technological incompetence. I've been trying to identify myself. So I finally got it. My apologies. Yeah, so I'm here on behalf of HUD Val. Unfortunately, the architect Terry Porter was not able to join in. So now that I'm here. I caught something about demolishing the building, but that is not part of it. I caught something, if you can please clarify, about removing the addition, small addition on the barn. Yes, that is part of the plan. But to remove the barn or the property, the building in the front, called the Blue House, no, that's not part of it.
All right, thank you. Let me see if I can pull that up again and
Thank you.
website. So Ted, the application itself says by removing an addition, but there is no clarity around what that addition is, nor is it on any drawings that we have.
Okay.
What we need is an updated application that shows what addition is going to be removed, the impact that will have on the setback, and an updated area variance request. The zoning law requires a 40-foot setback from the rear property line. It says the building exists 6.4 feet from the property line. But it's not clear if that's the building that's going to be removed or if there's some other kind of addition or. So the application needs to be updated so we have some clarity around exactly what setback you're looking for or from where.
What? Oh, it's the way it's worded that it doesn't, but it's stating here that it is going to be removed, and it's going to be 10 feet.
Okay, but that's not what the application says.
approximately.
So it looks to me like the, Will Lutz has just pointed out, looking at the drawings, that they seem to provide some clarity, but they are not consistent with the application that has been submitted.
Okay.
So if we could get that application updated so everyone is clear, that would be terrific.
Okay. Thank you for your time. So need to show which addition to be removed. And then I just jotted a quick note about impact. Could you please clarify what you mean regarding impact?
Setback or impact?
Yeah,
I thought I heard you say impact. I am.
set back,
Oh, setback.
that's
Ah,
back, right. So,
that makes more sense. Okay.
yeah, the application has got to be very specific about the variance required. So the law says a 40-foot setback. If you want a 30-foot setback, you're asking for a variance of 10 feet.
Right. And the application does not indicate that at this point.
It does not.
Okay. I'll have a talk with Terry. All right. Okay. So the drawings are more indicative of the project, but it's inconsistent with the application itself.
Will, you think that's a reasonable summary?
I think it just needs to be worded a little bit different too.
Yeah.
Up and then, it's it says approximately, it needs to just state, look at one of the drawings. We'll talk about it later, but the variance she's looking for, if it's 40 feet, it's 10 feet, he's looking for a 30-foot variance.
He's looking for a 30, right? Yeah, and we don't deal with the word approximately in the law.
Okay. All right. Oh,
Yeah, if you're looking for a 30-foot setback, then you need to state that specifically and exactly, and it has to match up with the plans.
fair enough.
Not trying to be difficult, Ted, by the way, just trying for clarity.
You're not being difficult. If I was sitting in where you are, I'd be saying the same thing. So, to be fair.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I make a motion that we extend the public meeting to, for at least 30 days, so we can revisit this conversation next month.
I'll second.
I need a motion first.
Oh, he didn't. I'll make the motion that we extend till next month.
I'll second it.
I knew that. All in favor? Aye, so moved.
And Jim is here too, like this week, right? So I'll be sitting in, right, Marcus? Right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yep.
You should go to by waiting. Consultant for the,
A look, many years ago and, before, I think,
removal now, and you.
no,
So for your edification, since you're the neighbors, what we'll do is we'll redo this meeting next month, assuming the applicant he's required by law to have a completed, updated, and accurate application 10 days prior to the meeting. And then at the public meeting, we will invite anyone who's got an interest to speak. We'll discuss it as a board. If we think the application is complete, we'll vote on it. We'll also vote on the variance at that meeting. Assuming that it's complete, yes. Yeah, we try not to make it difficult on people by extending these things out.
What?
no, it's already there. It's actually going to be further from your property line by a little bit.
But not to comply with 40
Yes,
required.
Right, so they'll be asking for a quote variance, which says approximately, they'll be asking for a 30-foot variance to the zoning law, so it can be 10 feet from the property line instead of 40. You're welcome. You are most welcome.
You have something, Jim? Terry has no, Terry mentioned it at the last meeting, he went to, there is no recollection of any of it in any of, there's no paperwork on it, there's the architect, I forget his, Terry, Terry Porter.
Jim, any other questions?
What year that home built?
Let's bring it along.
Oh, I think we're. No, that's it.
Okay, let's move on to new business,
Wow.
which is an area variance application. This is the one for the fence. Do we have anyone online or here that wants to speak to this? Okay, any questions or comments from members of the board on it? I certainly do. So,
What was the reasoning for the additional height?
he wanted to add 2 feet to provide safety for his family from bears. Now, the reality is bears climb 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, 30 feet. So, well, he wants to electrify
It
it.
is, it states right here, pin mark insulation that's what requires the elect to go through it. That's what it. I'm very familiar with these, you can't even see them when they're up. It's amazing, Jim, you must have customers with these, you can't see them, it looks sometimes.
Yeah.
The fence itself, you mean?
And then if the posts are like green metal posts, you can't even see
You
them,
can't even see them, yeah.
they disappear.
Interesting. That's
So this is coming to us, why? Now, it's a perimeter fence. But it's not. Is it because of the extra 2 feet?
he's asking for a variance because the zoning law states you can have 6 feet back and side, 4 feet front. And he's asking for 6 feet in the top. Has anybody driven by the property?
I have. Yeah, I know the property and I'm familiar with.
Charles, you
This was Kevin Alonso.
Oh, Kevin's house, yeah. Joins the state park.
It does. And there are a lot of bear problems.
Yeah, it's a doodle
And a
town.
lot of swamp out there.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
So we have no comments from anyone online? Any other comments, questions from the board? Well, can I get a motion that we open this for a public meeting at our next, at our August meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Sharon?
Second it.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, so we'll have a public meeting on that next month. Okay, discussion. Let's talk about this really interesting application that we have from this individual who wants to have 2 SDRs in his house. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on it?
I'm still absorbing it all.
Anybody have a chance to read Ed's note as well as Nan's?
These plans, I don't have them.
Well, here's Ed's. By the way, as Jim and I were talking before the meeting and we stopped because we had a quorum and we couldn't continue discussion. I have asked John Lyons and Kim for an opinion on this, actually for two opinions. I asked them for an opinion first on whether or not if an applicant meets all of the requirements for a short-term rental, can the planning board still refuse to give them a permit? And the reason that came up is that the ZRC, actually, Zoning Revisions Committee, asked the question because they're exploring ways to enhance opportunities to add housing, not affordable housing, but housing in general. And there were several people in the ZRC that expressed a concern that as housing comes up, it's being bought by businesses that are turning into short-term rentals, which is true. And whether or not the town should consider regulating that and potentially saying no. So right now, I have no idea whether it's legal to say no or not. There's two different schools of thought. One is, hey, it's your property. You should have the right to do what you want with it. On the other hand, there's an issue with housing.
What's your reason for now? Just the idea of having too much of that around, or?
Yeah, well, there are,
I mean, I can't see a great thing. We're up here living in our houses and people come up and buy this house. And 2 weeks later, somebody's giving $2,000 a month to live there for the summers. And so they bought income properties, what they did.
yep.
And I don't know if that's, it may not be against the law, but don't seem too bright to me. But.
Which is what we're exploring, Ron.
Yeah.
Is it, I don't think it's against the law. But the question is, could the planning board refuse a permit so that house has to be rented long-term, which under zoning law is in excess of 31 days.
In excess of one?
31 days.
Okay,
Anything rented more than 31 days is not considered a short-term rental.
That was not this one.
oh,
That was not the one.
Right, that's not, right. The question before us is a question from Ed to interpret the zoning law as to whether or not you can have two short-term rentals in one dwelling unit. Like specifically a bedroom, kitchen and stuff downstairs in the basement, and upstairs on the main floor and perhaps above it, 3 or maybe 4 bedrooms.
there's a lot of money in that one house, okay.
Right now, the zoning law is very specific about how many people can rent a short-term rental. In terms of parking, in terms of adults, in terms of children.
Septic. Septic too.
Well, yeah, septic's a consideration, but the restrictions around how many bedrooms you can use and how many people you can have are, which is why everybody needs to go back and look at the STR law. So we're going to discuss this next month.
It's staying in 3 bedrooms now.
Yes.
Well, Dan said 3, but the gentleman in the beginning, gentleman, I think, had 3 bedrooms upstairs and an additional apartment
Well, there's
below.
4 bedrooms.
Right.
It's being engineered with the septic. I'm not involved with that. It's being engineered though, I know, for 4 bedroom. It's septic.
Oh, you're familiar with what?
I'm ready for me with all that shit. So, now that I'm doing this septic, I don't look at the plans, I haven't. So he's doing the right thing on that part. It's a 4 bedroom. 1 bedroom downstairs, but not really kitchenette, bathroom. Little living room, beautiful view of the mountains. On the glass. When you look at this is how I look at that. It's an accessory dwelling unit, but if you separate that, say I bought a townhouse, you bought a townhouse, you could have 2 bedrooms over there, 2 over there. But there's a building code to divide those into 2 units. So it's still a 4 bedroom. But it's divided into an individual unit, and what that usually involves, this is Eddie's more expertise. That would make it a separate dwelling. as a single bedroom. But there's a lot of building codes, that fire rock, fire doors. Minor stuff, but costly to do that. Now you have two residences basically in one building. One building. That would make it an additional accessory dwelling unit. That would be my take on it. I'd have to get it, the plan board, still a 4-bedroom, but it's two individual dwellings.
I guess that's the question.
So what is the difference if he put one 100 foot out there or he had it there? Would be the question.
That is Dan's issue. That was Dan's.
Looked it over.
So he'd want
but
3
in
plus 1.
Our septic system's a real.
3 bedrooms in the main house.
Tell me.
And the basement?
But that's their business, that's what they do, we let do them what they say, the engineer. But other than that, I don't think. I wouldn't see why it couldn't still be considered, not only that, when you look at it from our town point of view, you have 2 separate permits. One for the one unit, one for the other, now we have regulation for both. Just like Eddie does to follow through, it's a problem, it's a party or something going on. And you have 2 permits being paid for now. Separate.
Well, I think when this is very, I don't have a strong opinion one way or another, but to me, the intent, which we learned from John Lyons, is extremely important. What's the intent of the law? The intent of the short-term law was to ensure that there were no more than 3 bedrooms and 6 adults at any one time at a short-term rental. That was the intent of the law. And an STR, when the law was written, it's a dwelling unit, one building.
There by
So,
John Ingram, that person that's just to the north of him. I think you get 20 people there at one time.
yeah, which is exactly what the law didn't want, but, all right. Any other
I don't know,
opinions?
what's everybody's thoughts, how do you? Looking in.
It's just, I have an interesting question with maybe you can help us with this too.
Speaking to the things.
When you, it probably does not pertain to anything, it's just, so. Is it true that on the tax codes, the low grade is not taxed?
Not that I'm aware of, if they're finished out, they go on as tax, finished out.
That was something I was wondered about.
I mean,
Yeah,
definitely-
there's nothing, being on the bar, there is nothing in the tax code that says below ground is not taxed.
Yeah. But
It's
I'm
the
always been
overall
aware of-
value of the building. If you have a finished basement, you are absolutely being taxed on.
How did they know that? Nobody compensated.
They have in the past, but.
Well, they know 2 ways. One, from a visit, and secondly, because every single building permit that comes up goes to the assessor.
Mhm,
So if you finish a basement, it goes to the assessor.
mhm.
You add a room, it goes to the
Goes to the
assessor.
assessor, yeah. Once the CO out,
Yeah.
I remember telling Arthur had an argument about it.
yeah. Yeah.
Any other comments, questions about the topic? Okay, I think that's it. Can I get any other questions or comments from anybody? Get a motion to close the meeting? Oh, Sharon. Good for you.
Good, that's right. Did you
Um,
write something down from last week that you have
On my
from
notes?
last month? Yeah.
No, I
Any
just,
good notes to give us this month?
no, not yet.
Okay.
You were gonna check on the motion to legally possibly amend the condition.
Yep.
Did you check on that at all? Did you hear
Yeah,
anything back?
what I've heard back from John Lyons is almost nothing for the last 30 days because he has been completely consumed with supporting the planning board on the, as you would well know, the cell tower and the solar
Okay.
panels.
All right,
He's written me several times to say, Steve, I'm sorry, we just have no bandwidth. We'll get to it. So yes,
Okay.
I have, and no, we don't have a response.
all right.
To me, the most important thing on the agenda right now from him are these STR
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah.
Who's looking into that? You were talking with Don about?
I
that?
asked John about it.
There should be a statistical number on our rural areas and populations that say how much, the residences, the large, small, or whatever, should be workforce, skill, retired. That breaks all that down and would tell you
Really?
how many houses. None of them's ever perfect, plus or minus, just
Yeah.
like anything else, but how many should be around their area? Usually they'll take a 25-mile or 50-mile. Once we got places within that of us, so that kind of limits it out here, but for all of our rural area here, and from Ancomdale, and what's here, whether it's farm workers, whatever,
Yeah.
officially.
So Jim, are you saying that there is
You should be able to figure that
a
out.
statistic that we should?
Statistic numbers you look at, and then you compare how many of the short-term rentals we have in
Right.
our own homes. And see how that's affected. Medium income, they use
It's a
that
great- it's a
sometimes.
very interesting
for the
point.
From Ancomdale, average wages, well, we don't say no, you have many approved. What they call it, a median for it.
Yeah.
It would seem to
With the
be
number.
dramatically different in this town because there's just not that much infrastructure.
No,
You know, compared to cocaine and compared to
yeah, so our numbers, Ancomdale and Ancrum will be totally
totally different.
Totally different. Do you do a range on it, pick a range, what the committee would be comfortable with, going out 20 miles, which would get in over in the Quebec.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Jim. I actually never thought of that before, so thank you for that. Let me drop John Lyons a note and ask him about whether or not those statistics are available and whether or not a could or should be considered in our discussion. I never thought that's a great idea.
Even if you took your little section over there where you're at, Steve.
Yep.
And think about that, how that's with all the numbers, just where you are.
Yep,
It's not a lot of rental.
a lot,
A lot of
yeah,
people I've known rented over there.
yep. Yep,
It's desirable for the police. Rentals of property.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
because
Oh, yeah.
of me as a neighbor or just because of the?
Maybe. You know,
They always stay 4 houses down. with that.
Stay, yeah. How can we get far away from
Yeah,
it?
they'll go to. Now that nothing's going, everybody wants to go over there.
Oh, that's cold. Maybe true, but cold. Okay, can I get a motion to close the meeting?
I make a motion, we close the meeting.
I second the motion. Well done, all in favor? Aye. So moved. The meeting is hereby closed. Thank you.